Episode 5 of us documenting how exactly we're going from $0 to $84,000 a month with this business model, helping other people do the same exact thing, leveraging this model, leveraging our outbound acquisition processes, helping people put their offer in front of 500 targeted people per day, allowing them to literally book more meetings to collect more cash, right? Like that is the biggest problem in today's industry, right? It's the same reason why we've burned down 3 agencies together, me and my business partner, right? Just like we're failing forward, right? But like understanding that the biggest problem across the board is it's not the problem that these people like we can't sell, right? Like agency owners, business owners, coaches, consultants. It's not the problem you can't sell. It's the problem you don't have enough people to sell to, right? Which is the same reason why we burned down the other agencies, right? And realized we need to focus in on the big problem and help solve this in the marketplace, right? Which is getting you more sales meetings, right? The more opportunities you have to sell, the more opportunities you have to collect more cash, right? And then you build infrastructures around, the fulfillment processes, building a team, filling the gaps so you're no longer the bottleneck of the business, right? So you actually have the chance, right, to get out of that 8 to 12 to 20K a month mark and go to the 60, 80, 100K a month mark, right? Like, I don't know why else we're in business, right? Like, except to create freedom, which you can't do if you're still in the acquisition processes, right? And to create a legacy and collect cash. Let's be blatantly honest. Like, if you're in this business, yes, to serve people, perfect. Like that is the core, right? That's why I'm in this as well, right? To serve people. But the main purpose is to get rich. I'm sorry, it's to get rich. Like, let's not beat around the bush here, right? So it is to get rich and have freedom. Like, we have trips planned. We're going to Europe this summer. I'm going to Tulum here in a couple weeks. Like, I want to know that my business is running and collecting cash seamlessly and effortlessly, like without me. Like, I'm no longer the bottleneck. If I'm not in the trenches doing outreach, we don't grow. Like that's not a scalable model in any world, right? So that's exactly what we're doing here at Saulna Digital, documenting those processes and the SOPs in real time for you guys, right? Of exactly how we're going from $0 invested to over $84,000 a month, leveraging these outbound acquisition processes that we do for ourselves and that we're doing for other people, straight up. And we're plugging into their businesses, and we're seeing immense success across the board, right? So yeah, in this, I'm going to be breaking down just, like I said, how the meetings are coming in. If you've watched our other videos, right, I go over the outbound processes. I go over the neural marketing method, right? So meetings are rolling in. Now we need to dive into how we're actually closing these calls, right? And collecting cash at a really fast rate. Okay, I showed you guys the ad build, right? So now that we have a bunch of opt-ins coming in, like there's literally over 400 opt-ins. It's nutty, right? Like, okay, now let's break down how we're actually booking these people, warm dialing them, having extremely hot meetings rolling in, right? Of people that just want what we have to offer, what our clients have to offer, whole 9 yards. All right. Like I said, we're literally documenting exactly what building $1 million online business looks like in this new age marketing space, which is only $84,000 a month, which is actually so doable when you really break it down, right? Like, I'm a numbers guy. I hope you are too, because it's very simple, right? If you can put your offer in front of 300 to 500 targeted people per day on industry standard numbers, right? At a 5% positive response rate, that's 15 to 25 people. Like I said, very conservative here. You book 20% of those people out of the positive responses, right? That's 3 to 5 calls booked. That's 2 to 4 show-ups, right? Give or take, let's be conservative, say one or two, right? Out of those show-ups, you're going to have the opportunity to close those people, right? So that's 1 to 2 closes per day, right? That's 30 to 60 closes a month on just an average 2K offer. That's $60,000 on the bottom end in collected cash just from these outbound acquisition processes, right? Not even leveraging the inbound stuff we went over, not even leveraging ads, right? So getting to $84,000 a month is actually like not that hard when you really break it down and have systems and have a real strategy to get there, right? Which, like I said, is what we are implementing into people's businesses, right? I want to keep reiterating that so you guys know what we do, how we can help you, and keep you in this video, right? Like if this is already something that can make sense for you and your business, and it makes sense for really every entrepreneur, I'm sorry it does, keep watching because, like I said, we're just going to be giving you guys the sauce in real time, right? Take notes, steal these strategies. We're giving it to you guys because we want you to go out there, use it, and then come back to us. Honestly, like we want to consult you guys, give you the strategies and the systems to 10x what you're doing, right? But you can use exactly everything I'm going over to get your first couple clients. Use that cash to reinvest it to grow the business, ideally with us. You know what I'm saying? In full transparency. But yeah, let's keep rolling. So already really kind of hit on that, exactly what we're doing, scaling outbound ascension processes and building an in-house acquisition team for agencies, tech companies, and online education companies. All right. The last video, like I said, we went over the neural marketing method where we scared our entire client's inbound lead generation processes, re-nurturing his followers, re-nurturing the people actually engaged, and booked like squeeze the people that's already in the funnel, right? Like people don't do that enough. You know what I'm saying? Like they're in there, you're nurturing them, but let's get them on some sales calls. You know what I'm saying? Like start there. I promise you, if you already have a following, that's going to be the fastest and easiest way because they already know, like, and trust you, right? It's going to be the fastest way for you to collect cash extremely fast. Go watch that neural marketing video that was right before this, maybe a video before the last video. It's in there, you know what I'm saying? Watch it. They're all sauce, in my opinion, but it's kind of biased. But yeah, so we booked multiple calls with this method now for, one of our clients we just onboarded. The next step is just for the closer to take the call and collect cash. All right, so today's system we're going to be going over, like I said, it's around this concept right here. Obviously, this is all we want to know. It's like, how can we get more meetings and how can we collect more cash, right? And we're going over those processes in real time. I want to just keep stressing that. Like, we're showing you guys exactly where we're at, where exactly we're optimizing, and how we're leveraging it, right? So over the past couple of weeks, our outbound processes have truly been killing it, straight up. And we've been able to book multiple meetings coming in, and just 2 closes alone for our own offer in the last week. So just collecting cash on all fronts from our clients, for ourselves, just running the processes, right? Like it's working in real time. You know what I'm saying? And we'll disclose numbers here with you guys shortly as we get closer to that 84K. I want to have a little more motion before I let you guys in on the back end. I ain't gonna lie, but you know what I'm saying? We are keeping it straight up with you guys, and we will show the payment processors here soon. But we don't like to. We like to stay humble. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, as far as the calls coming in, right? We like to use the NEPQ framework. Shout out Jeremy Miner. When I was scaling the sales stuff, I was building an insurance sales team. I mean, Jeremy Miner, the way he sells, the psychology behind it, asking the right questions, the neuro emotional persuasion questions, right? Like that is the bread and butter of the sales kind of process. Like honestly, like you're just asking people questions, being genuinely curious about them, but you're asking the questions in the right order so that you're pulling out the pain and the desire in their mind, and they create this bridge within themselves, right? And which is we're leveraging this psychology, this neural marketing method, right? In our DM setting processes and scripts, in our warm dialing scripts, and in our closing, right? So it's like everything is in line and in congruence when they come and they touch the funnel, right? As far as we already know their pain when they get on the calls, and then we dive deeper into it, and then just deeper, and then it's like it's a no-brainer when you go to collect cash, right? Because everything's in congruence. You know what I'm saying? And they've psychologically already sold themselves, which is where you want them to be at, right? Like just completely almost lay downs, right? Like we've been having extremely fun on sales calls. Like these last two closes we got, literally I threw on my little Cartier shades and I like kicked my feet back and was just on the call, just like just straight, just kicking it with dude. Like he came on the call, just like, bro, I need what y'all got. Like I'm tired of being in the trenches. We're making money, you know what I'm saying? But like I'm still smacking outreach, and like at the end of the day, that's not scalable, right? And it's a no-brainer, right? Like, let's plug in these systems. Let's get your offer in front of 500 targeted people a day, literally, like without you doing anything but managing some DMs, and then you can scale a VA to manage those DMs once everything's optimized, and you're completely off the processes. And you're just either going to take sales calls or you're going to scale a closer, right? Which is the processes we're going to be leveraging next. You're either going to scale a closer up so you don't have to do anything but worry about content assets and fulfillment, right? And then ultimately you could get a client success manager to worry about fulfillment if you build the right operations and you just build a scalable business, like literally without you, right? And that is this acquisition ascension process. And I really hope that makes sense to you guys, because I'm sorry, but you have to have a team, right? And you have to have scalable SOPs and systems that are going to get you from working in the business to working actually on the business, right? And like a lot of people say that, and you're going to hear that from a bunch of entrepreneurs, but like actually looking at what that looks like, right? Like I'll tell you firsthand, working in the business is when our daily KPIs are 100 outreach, you know what I'm saying, 50 cold calls, right? And then, you know what I'm saying, I got to work on ad accounts. Like I'm in the business, and it doesn't scale if I don't do my inputs, right? Now, where we're sitting right now, like we just work on the business. You know what I'm saying? Me and my business partner, we're literally right now creating a completely whole new onboard process, but meetings are still rolling in, right? Like we're on the front lines, like leading from the front of making sure our business is growing like exponentially and moving in the right direction. Yo, there's something in my eye that's nutty. Oh, it hurts. My bad. But like that's what it looks like from going in the business, right? We completely like removed ourselves from being the bottleneck over there, right? And now we're working on the business, right? And actually like, okay, now our fulfillment's getting dialed, right? Now like our content's getting dialed. We genuinely have time and freedom to go do what we want, right? Like, but our business is still scaling, like, and that's what it looks like, right? And that's what we really want to stress to people and help you guys overcome, right? Because that is one of the biggest challenges in entrepreneurship today. Like, there is so much money to be made in this new age marketing space. You know what I'm saying? Like, online money is nutty. Like, I'm running like some back end theme pages, right? Like there's just like money to be made from all angles right now. Like, but you have to dial in actual systems and scalable procedures to like get you hands off. You know what I'm saying? But here nor there, I'm kind of ranting here, but like that stuff just fires me up. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's dive into this NEPQ framework of just collecting more cash, bro. Like, I don't know what y'all's sales processes look right now, but y'all need to scrape this whole Downy right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the one in real time. Allow, come on. All right. Oh my gosh. Dude, my nigga Craig be fucking moving docs around OD. Shout out Craig, bro. Shout out Craig. That's my brother, bro. We're going to be multi-millionaires together. And I genuinely believe that, like, wholeheartedly. We're going to be doing $1 million a month within the next 2 years. No doubt. You can stamp that March 19th at 11:15 at night, just shooting some content. We will be doing over $1 million a month in the agency space in the next year and a half. Straight up. All right, so let's dive into this straight up, right? The NEPQ process, okay? these are the main frameworks, right? Like you're gonna have the connection phase, right? It's kind of the intro, situation, problem awareness, solution awareness, the consequence, and then the commitment, right? I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I sold on one of our sales calls yesterday. I just didn't pull enough urgency. I tried. I was super pitchy. It was shit. It was shit. I take full accountability. I texted the team. Like I take full accountability, straight up. You know when my performance is bad, and you guys gave me an extremely hot and qualified lead. So for the team that's watching this, because I know they'd be tapped in with the content, shout out my boys that are in the trenches, having our meetings rolling in, super qualified lead rolled through. I sold, that's on me, but they know I'm going to take care of them on the back end, so don't even worry about it. It happens, you know what I'm saying? But this is going to be a great, just honestly, refresher for me, just running off sales calls. Like, this process is like, it's so needed, right? Because with urgency not being built and you skipping, maybe I skipped the consequence phase, right? And it showed up at the end, right? Like the ejection I got, right? And ultimately it got him off the sales call without closing. And like I said, full accountability. That's on me. That's on me. But these processes will help you collect a lot of cash. Like I was saying when I was first rambling, when I jumped into selling insurance, I was shit at sales, not gonna lie. But I studied Jeremy Minor. When we were first scaling our marketing agency, the lead gen stuff, right, that we pivoted out of, like we were awful at sales. But we started just studying Jeremy Minor, this NEPQ framework, right? And our close percentage just started just like exponentially just going through the roof. Sales calls got so easy. Actual conversations in person got so easy, right? Like be genuinely curious, right? Like use the right tonality, lower your voice, right? Like get fired up about some stuff, right? Like genuinely care about like where that person is at in their journey, right? And build that bridge, like help them really see it, right? Like go there with them, okay? But I'm gonna dive into you guys of like actually what that looks like. Whoa, I'm up there in the corner. All right, so warm dialing, right? These ads coming in, right? Just some tips for the warm dialing script, right? Obviously, control your tone and speed, right? These people, you have leverage, you have high leverage, right? These people gave you their info because they opted in for something that you have, right? So use that to your advantage. It's not cold calling. You're warm dialing, so you can take whatever frame you want, but you have the authority, right? Lower your voice, not soft, but lowered. It'll draw the prospect in, right? Your speed will dictate your level of control. If you go too fast, you automatically transfer over authority. Slow down, talking almost broken English, right? Like really, like draw them in, right? Tonality, it's everything. Seriously, watch Jeremy Minor sauce. Implement pattern interrupts. You know what I'm saying? By pausing in between statements, priming them, right? During the initial answer, prime the call by ensuring your prospect you intend to not take up too much time. Sets frame early that this is going to be a quick call because it's just a warm dial, right? The biggest thing here is positioning. You need to position yourself as far from needing anything from them and then transition into them understanding that they're the ones who need help, okay? Let's dive into what that actually looks like. Like I said, if you want this, reach out to us, comment closing script, comment framework, just comment some shit and we'll just send it to you, you know what I'm saying? Whole 9 yards, all right? So beginning, right? Hey name, right? Prospect answers. This is just blank from said company. Giving you a quick call here. I saw you were looking for a new way to, okay, let's say it's trading. I saw you were looking for a new way to become a profitable trader. Tell me a little bit, how's that going, right? Where are you currently at in your journey? Are you still fairly new? Okay, gotcha. You've been doing it for a minute? Nice, nice. What made you even start and get into trading, right? Okay, wow, that's sick. Have you been finding success? Like, pull it out. Where are they at? Where are they at, right? Let's say they're mostly this is for like obviously our kind of tailored offer, right? How many coaching and mentorships clients do they currently have, right? Like you're finding out like where they are at, like how are leads coming in, right? Like really like pulling out the problem, right? Like because we had the solution. obviously, right? But we need them to understand that they have a problem first. But this is just a warm dial, right? This is just a warm dial. So it's just a small little digging phase, right? But like I said, we still want to leverage this in all aspects we're doing, right? So whatever problem they give you, tell me more about that. Like, what's been the hardest part so far you think about, scaling your mentorship, right? Okay. And then, like, what do you think's like really behind that? Like, is it, the lack of content assets? Are you struggling just getting in front of a bunch of people, right? Like, now you're starting to position yourself, right? Like, we do have a potential solution. I understand your problem a lot. Like, what do you think's the biggest hurdle for you, right? Because it doesn't matter what you have, right? Like, it really doesn't matter, like, genuinely what your offer is. But if they can see an actual problem, they'll move on to book the meeting on the sales call, which is all you want to do right here, right? That's all you want to do right here on this warm dial. Just get them over to the sales call, right? And then figure out their goals, obviously, like build a little light, like, okay, I figured out the problem. Now, what's your actual goal, right? So they can see there's a gap, you know what I'm saying? But I got you, and then always position when you're going into the ask, right? Obviously, reiterate back to them. I think that's super good to active listen, right? Take notes, of course, but like reiterate to them like where they are and where they want to go, and just be like, yeah, is that pretty much correct? Just so I have an understanding moving forward, and then always position your ask as like you're doing something for them, right? Like you still have leverage. Like, I got you, man. Like, no, what I really want to do for you here, John. And like I said, I didn't want to take up too much of your time, right? I actually have a meeting coming up. Position yourself. It's high authority, right? I actually have a meeting coming up here in the next 5 minutes, so I got to bounce as well. What I want to do for you here, John, is actually lock in a quick 15-minute Google Meet with the operators behind, Saulna Digital. What they'll be able to do is actually personally give you an overview of exactly what you need to get past this little roadblock you're at and get closer to, doing 60, 80, 100K a month, okay? Now, I have their schedule pulled up here. What time usually works best for you, John? Mornings or afternoon, right? You see how I just walked him into the meeting? Like, I'm about to do something for you, and it's not a choice, right? I have their calendar pulled up. What time is going to work best for you, right? I'm not like shoving it down his throat. I'm genuinely like helping this guy by getting him on the sales call to help his business, right? And it's got to be positioned like that. You have authority. The best thing I've heard in sales, and shout out my boy Justin White, you know what I'm saying? If you ever want to get into insurance sales, I will always vouch. You need to go talk to him. He's building one of the best agencies in that space, in an actual real business model where you can make a fuck ton of money. That's my dog. All them boys, shout out them. But yeah, like as I said, as you're going to the ask, where I was going with that is Justin told me this one thing, right? And I'll never forget it. It's helped me a lot. You want to think about you and the prospect are walking down a hallway. And in this hallway, there's a bunch of doors open. And at the very end of the hallway, there's this golden door, right? Which is the objective, right? Whether that's going to be the close or whether that's going to be right now, the objective is the book meeting, right? Along the process, you don't want to give them any ways out. So you want to lead them down this hallway and just close the doors in front of them, right? Handling all objections, right? Like we'll go over in the sales kind of NEPQ framework, how it does that, right? But like you want to close all the doors in front of them, right? Like don't give them a way out. When you give them a way out, when you ask like an open-ended question or like, is that cool if we just book a meeting? It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're giving them a way out. Don't give them a way out, right? Like take control of the conversation and direct them where they need to go, right? Like I'm about to do something for you and we're about to lock in this meeting. What time works best for you? And then tie down. The tie down is so huge because like if these people don't show up, you don't make money, right? So the tie down. Okay, perfect. So John, I have you obviously. Okay, so this is about I don't want to skip this either. Let me backtrack. I'm going ahead of myself. Okay, perfect, John. So I have always named 2 time slots, right? I have a 9:30 and a 11 which would work best for you. Okay. And Friday works good. Okay. So I got you locked in here, John, for 9:30 on Friday. And John, how do you track your meetings? Google Calendar, Notes. Okay, just do me a huge favor if you don't mind. If you will, just as a courtesy to, the Darius or Craig, whoever he booked the meeting for, just make sure you have your phone near you during that time. 9:30 on Friday. Put it on your calendar for me. Set a reminder. Whatever you need to do, just please be intentional about keeping your appointment, and I'll make sure that Darius is available for you as well. Okay. All right, perfect. I'm going to shoot you a text before just to make sure and remind you as well. Just let us know if something comes up and you can't make it for any reason. Outside of that, John, it was a pleasure talking to you, getting to know you. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. I look forward to hearing how your call goes on 9:30 on Friday. All right? Cheers. All right, in a bit, yeah? Shout out my British boys. I love that one. In a bit. But yeah, tie him down. I just said the meeting time and date 4 times before he got off. I'm just ingraining it into the paradigm. Don't miss 9:30 on Friday, right? And I'm gonna shoot you a text as well to remind you again, right? And they're gonna get dripped on Calendly as well, right? We want to increase the show rate, right? So that's how you do it. And through this process, the setter should have took notes, and then obviously they're going to have direct communication with the setter, right? Like our setter right now, he just texts me important information about the sales calls coming up. Find that just simplest. But he can also use, our CRM where the leads are at. Type in the notes on there. He'll just let me know hey, I added notes on the CRM about the prospect, what they said on the warm dial, right? And kind of just so and have some ammo going into the sales call, right? That's kind of the whole purpose of it, all right? And so for the sales call, right, transition right into that. Same type of frame, same type of questioning, right? They've already gone through it a little bit. Now let's go a level deeper, right? Active listen. That is the biggest thing with sales. So many of even the people we're training up, right, to be closers, right, or just people in general, right? They'll see these questions, right, coming up, and they'll be so urgent to ask the next question that they don't even realize that the main reason of these questions is to set you up for all of these phases, right? When you're going through connection, it should lead you right into situation, right? Instead of being okay, that's cool. Now, what's your goal? No, active listen. Okay, no, I hear you, John. Now why is that? Start digging into that stuff they give you, right? And then use that to go down the process, right? When done properly, each question leads you right into the next one, right? Digging where you need to dig, right? Okay, now, why do you feel that is, right? Okay, now, what happens if you don't solve that problem, right? Why? Okay, now, why do you want to solve that now, right? Okay, now, you're pulling it out of them, right? That's the whole purpose of this NEPQ framework, right? So this is really the 10-step formula when it comes to that. So it's going to be intro, set the agenda. You're going to have the situation, the vision, the challenge, the consequence, the showing the gap, getting commitments, self-solution selling, and then the presentation, right? So intro, hey, John, it's, Darius calling from Saulna Digital. How you doing today, right? Keep the energy high, keep enthusiasm high. When they respond with how are you, use this as an opportunity to build altitude and show you're just a high-performing individual. Straight up, right? It comes off as you're a motion boy, right? They want to work with other high-level entrepreneurs. I don't want to work with losers. Why would they? You know what I'm saying? Let's cut it how it is. Right? Man, we've been crazy busy, dog. We've been onboarding a ton of people, just scaling crazy. Yeah, man, it's we're on some exciting stuff. It's literally how my intro goes. Because it's true, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're on some exciting stuff. I'm genuinely excited about, like, what I see in front of us, right? Like, straight up, right? And, like, portray that to them. Like, get them, like, kind of like, okay, yeah. He's almost, yeah, what they're doing's working. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can feel it because it's real. It's real, right? Um, so, you just dive in, right? Like I said, if you want this full closing script, make sure you reach out to us. And if you want us to come into your business, refine all of these systems, plug in these outbound automations, whole 9 yards, make sure you also reach out to us, right? So you have the extra opportunity to leverage these scripts and close money at a really high rate, right? Without you being the bottleneck, getting you off the acquisition process, all right? So set the agenda, right? Set clear expectations for how the call will go, establish authority. Straight up, you're the closer. They have a problem. You have a solution. Figure that out, right? So early tie down, right? We did this. We did this in the insurance space, and I really like it. And it's something that we also do now over here, and it works very well. All I ask, John, is at the end of this conversation, just for a clear yes or no, right? Like I said, we're slammed right now. It's going to be pretty obvious whether this makes sense for you or not, okay? And I just ask for a yes or no because it's hard for me to follow up with everybody, right? Getting on 5, 6 of these calls, helping a bunch of businesses. I personally just don't have time for it. And they'll respect that, right? Like, and they'll say yes. And be like, all right, cool. Like, now you just roll right into it, right? Roll right into the situational phase. Discover where the prospect currently stands. What is your current situation in personal and business life, and main pain points and problems, right? Collect as much data as possible here and let your prospect speak, right? Like, you want them to be rambling, right? Why don't you kick this off with a bit of a background on yourself? Why you reached out, and we'll take it from there. Like, okay, that's awesome, man. Like, how long have you been doing that for? Like, starting to get to know them, right? Like, their background, who they are as a person. It's a rapport, right? But, like, it's still, like, they're going to be pulling out their pain, right? So dive into that. Explain more a bit about that. Dive deeper into the details, right? Don't let this conversation be surface level. Take it a level deeper with them. Be a good active listener, ask broad questions, don't rush, and go deeper to find the pain points. Be very conversational, as if you're meeting someone at an event and you're very curious about what they have going on, right? That curiosity goes a long way. Man, that's awesome. Like, how long have you been doing that for? Man, that's sick. Like, you're having success. I love that. Like, so tell me more about it, right? Like, be genuinely curious. Now, discover their goals. Discover the prospect's desired outcome, right? Start general, then get specific. Ask questions to fully understand your prospect's goals. Also, get them to start visualizing it. Financial freedom isn't enough. Go 10 times deeper. So what's your goal with, this business, right? Like, broad, this could be income, career-wise, lifestyle, skill set, whatever the offers around. Like, what is your goal with trading, right? Like, okay, and how much do you need to be bringing in to feel like, you're having success, right? Tie a monetary amount to it so they can see there's a visual gap that they're not there yet, right? And now, why do you want to change that aspect of your life, right? Like, straight up, right? Like, now, okay, now what's your current short-term goals? Long-term goals, what are they, right? Like, dive into it. Now you're going to have the challenge-based, right? Like, find out what has been stopping them from making the change they want. What is the biggest hurdle? What is the biggest challenge? It's usually just a limiting belief, and sometimes it will be a real challenge, but most times it's just a false paradigm, which your offer should help solve, right? Help them overcome their limiting belief, or show them how they will overcome the challenge, right? Like, give them that real roadmap. Like, show them that you have the answers. You are the expert, right? So, urgency, like, how long have you been thinking about making this change? Like, right? Like, what's stopping you from making this change? Like, what's holding you back in this progress, right? Like, why, right? Help your prospect overcome their limiting belief and their challenge, all right? Consequences of not taking actions. The next step, what consequences will your prospect face if they don't take action? Build urgency within your prospect by helping them understand the consequences of not taking the action, right? So what happens if you don't make change? What happens if you stay here at 5K a month, right? Grinding, right? Always going back and forth, right? Like making a bunch of money, and then your money's in limbo because, clients are churning, or they say it's too expensive, or whole 9 yards. Like, what happens if you don't actually scale your acquisition processes, right? Now, like, what actually happens if you don't succeed with your business? Ooh, tough question. Yeah, what's that look like, right? Because we don't want that to happen, right? And it won't with our solution. You know what I'm saying? Like dive into it. You know what I'm saying? Pull it out of them. Go there. Slow down. Get in the tonality. Like, man. So, like, what happens if you don't succeed with, your agency? I hear you. Yeah, no, and we don't want that. Right? Go there with them, right? And then now, like, you're bridging this gap, right? Now you're showing the gap, right? And you see how these questions are leading into one another, right? When done properly, it is literally the smoothest conversation ever. Like, literally, right? Now, so restate the gap to the prospect so they clearly understand the change they're looking to make. Explain in your own words where they are and where they want to be and what's holding them back. And like I said, we already did this a little bit in the warm dial, which got them on the meeting, but now we're really pulling it out, right? Explain in your own words where they are, where they want to be, what's holding them back. You should surprise your prospect with how well you understand their situation here, right? Know the pain you're solving, that your offer is solving. Know the problem, right? The more the prospect feels like they can relate with what you have to offer, with who you are, with the more understanding you understand them, like the easier they'll close, right? Like, I understand exactly where you're at. One, because I've been there, right? Like, I scaled the agency. We burned it down because we were running this entrepreneur hamster wheel where we were just getting in the trenches, closing a deal, worrying about fulfillment, then having to get back in the trenches. And, like, yes, we were making money, but, like, bro, it wasn't scalable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand where you're at because I did it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the positioning you need to take, right? And then you're going to gain commitment, right? So you'll be gaining commitment, obviously, throughout the call. But at this stage, you're going to be asking for a major commitment, right? I can show you how to accomplish your goal, but you'll need to put in work, right? Can you find at least 2-3 hours per day to work on this, right? Maybe that's like for your mentorship or something of that nature, right? If like time is an objection with them, right? Right? Are you at a point in your life that you're ready to make a change, right? Like, here in this gaining commitment, a lot of people don't like to ask this question, or it might come off as just cheesy or like pitchy, right? But if it's smooth, like, you're coming right off of like showing the gap, right? And like, are you like, do you want to actually like obtain these goals that you say, right? Like make it natural, obviously, right? This is just a script to show you guys the processes, and like, obviously, that is the personalization of our consulting when you come on board as well, right? We refine these scripts for exactly your processes and make this move, either get this over to a closer, train them up, or we give you the processes to just help you collect more cash, right? A lot of you don't have a sales problem. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I will say that these processes right here have allowed just collecting more cash on all fronts, right? Then you're going to have the self-solution selling, right? So at this point in the call, the gap is established, urgency has been created, and commitments have been gained. Now it's time to bridge the gap, right? They see both sides. Let's bridge it. Ask your prospects to describe the perfect solution they would need, right? Ask them to sell themselves, right? Get a thorough response. If necessary, dig deeper. Note down any keywords they use and tailor them to your presentation, right? Gain ammo, right? So it's like you got the commitment, right? Now figure out to them, like, what's that look like, right? Now, in an ideal world, right? Like, what does that look like for you, right? Like, actually achieving that, okay? What do they say? Step-by-step guidance, a clear roadmap, right? Like, actual scalable systems, right? Like, just accountability, like whatever that is, write it down and use it, right? Because obviously that is your solution, right? Like, leverage it. Leverage the stuff they give you throughout the whole call, right? The pain points they have. Take notes on it, right? Like, really understand where they're at and their paradigm about it, right? Because that's all you're trying to solve. Like, it's a psychology game. Sales is a psychology game, right? So if you understand where they're at mentally, you can just help them overcome their limiting belief and then collect cash. It's as simple as that, right? Then you're going to present and close. Keep the presentation simple, right? Do not confuse the prospect here. Your presentation should paint a picture of how your prospect will overcome their challenges and achieve their dream outcome using your program and implementing the system, whatever that looks like, right? Be excited about your offer, obviously. Emphasize key benefits by leveraging your tonality to transfer excitement to your prospect, right? The presentation structure is as follows: deliverable, benefit, repeat, right? So, like, first things first, right, is the one-on-one coaching, right? Once a week, you'll be scheduling a call with the coach on the trading stuff, where we'll game plan the exact steps you'll be following for the week, right? Following our live trades, whole 9 yards, right? We found that direct and intimate guidance, just working directly with someone, has just like achieved like people like are doing like 10K a week right now, right? So on these calls, your coach is going to be looking over your shoulder and literally walking through every component of this, so we can completely cut out the trial and error and get you seeing results sooner, right? And then you're just going to keep doing that for like basically everything your offer entails, right? Like, very simple and to the point, right? Like, we're going to first, scrape the first 5,000 targeted leads for you, right? Plug you in to the bot, and we're going to be warming up, showing you the exact processes to warm up the accounts, optimize the accounts for those numbers, so we can be doing 500 targeted DMs per day, right? It is very simple, right? It's not much grunt work until the DMs start getting flooded, right? But that's going to be a great sign. You're going to be collecting cash. That's when we're going to scale a VA. And that's when we're about to just take off to the races, right? Like, this is an in-house acquisition source that's about to be built for you, right? It's very simple, right? You just break it down into something that people want, right? And I hope that all makes sense, right? You position all that, and then obviously when you transition, so they'll like, and you just always ask, like, through the process, does that make sense, right? I love that one. Or just like, right, like making sure they're following, getting those little like agreements through there, right? And see, I just did it right there. It's just natural. It's kind of becoming natural now, right? Of just kind of the lingo, how I talk to people, the sales presentations, and then like you go over kind of what the offer is, right? And does that make sense? Okay. Yeah. No, any questions about that? Right? No, just how much is it? Right? Yeah, man, it's just 4K. And then you just sit there in silence and you let them chew on it, right? And then you get a response back, right? If everything's done right, it's like, oh, that's it? Man, that's a damn good offer. That's literally what the guy said on their last sales call. He said, man, that's a damn good offer. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, you want to... He's like, oh yeah, it's just paid in full, right? And I was like, yeah. I'm gonna work on the invoice right now, send that over to you, and we can set up the onboard call. That'd be the next steps. And it's simple as that, right? Like, sales calls become so fun, right? Like, it's just you're on there making a new connection, networking, and you collect cash, right? And then you're actually helping someone scale their business, right? Like, I love it. But that's what the closing script and just like the warm dialing and the whole process looks like, right? That's the NPQ framework, right? How we are booking more meetings and collecting more cash, right? Like, the ads are scaling at an extremely high level, whole 9 yards, right? So that's what it looks like. Ad comes in, you get assigned, warm dialer runs through that script, closer gets on, runs the NPQ framework, whole 9 yards. We're doing it for ourselves. It's working. So we want to share it with you guys, right? We're going to share everything that's working in real time, right? So what's next? So far, we've documented how we're servicing one of our clients. This is fun, and we're making commissions with this partnership model. But we did recently switch, as you guys already know if you've watched these videos. We realized getting to $84,000 a month with 20% commission on sales from online education companies is going to be extremely time consuming, right? So we made an agreement, me and my business partner, that unless it's a really high ticket number, which we can talk about if you really want us to get in the trenches for you. But we really pivoted, right? This is going to be one of our last service clients to date. We're strictly moving into an implementation and done with you model, right? It's just so much more scalable on all fronts. So we're giving you guys the processes and systems and SOPs to make this an actual in-house build, right? And then if you want it done for you, it's just going to cost, right? Just because of the time it takes, right? Because it does take time, as you know, because you're probably still currently on the acquisition processes. It does take time getting in there and getting in the trenches, right? And cooking, you know what I'm saying? But building a real scalable system is what it's all about, and it's what we're doing, right? So if that's you, make sure you reach out to us, right? On the next video, we're going to dive into this new business model that is allowing us to collect more cash up front, allowing us to leverage a ton of cross-sells, expand our network, and generate our clients actually more money. I can't stress enough how much we actually do love this business model. It's insane. It's insane. We put some of our boys on it, and they are loving it as well. So I can't wait to roll this one out to you guys. Hope you're looking forward to it. Keep following us on this journey, right? Never miss an SOP. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure you subscribe to us here on YouTube. Follow us on IG. We're literally giving you guys just completely the sauce. Like we're just giving it to you guys straight up. We are the only YouTube channel you can copy all the way to $1 million, right? We're literally documenting it in real time. So you can even shoot us a message on IG, and we will answer any questions you may have there, right, about wherever you're at, straight up. Drop us a like, comment, support us. It goes a long way. If you want to help us further, make sure you actually steal these systems, use them for yourselves from these YouTube videos we're dropping, from the clips, whole 9 yards, so you can make some money. Then come invest with us, right? Like straight up. Like let's put our money up together, and let's actually scale your business to where it needs to go. You know what I'm saying? Let's go out the country together. Let's create freedom together. Let's build something real in this new age marketing space, right? And we're looking for more killers to do that with, right? If you want to join the journey, if you're a setter or a growth specialist and you want an actual spot on one of our offers, because like I said, we're closing a bunch of deals, and like you see, it's this system, right? They're going to need a setter and they're going to need a growth specialist, right? And if you're that person, right, not only can you come on board, and do it with us. We'll teach you the model in a paid performance way, right? We're also plugging our interns and the people we have in our ecosystem into these offers we're closing, right? So it's all feeding each other. I really love what we're building, like I said. It's kind of nutty, but we don't sell anything B2C. So it's pure value if you qualify to get into our internship, right? You'll be paid to learn exactly what we do. No guru, none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like just straight value, straight sauce, straight literally making money. You know what I'm saying? How it's supposed to be. So if you're an agency or an online education company, obviously feel free to hit us up on IG to see about working together. We will happily collect cash from you and 10x your monthly revenue. Straight up. The road to getting to 84K a month has legit never been easier and more obtainable, right? Leverage these acquisition extension processes. Leverage just our front end offer, right? Of these KPIs, right? Like of these just outbound automations, right? Which we can plug in for you and have you running within literally 4 to 8 hours, and get on pace to literally 10x your business probably. You know what I'm saying? And scale you out of the acquisition processes. It's super simple, and I hope that makes just a ton of sense. If it doesn't, let me know, obviously. But I hope you guys got immense value from this. Obviously, again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let us know where you're at in your journey. You know what I'm saying? We love to help you, all right? And we'd also love to work with you. So outside of that, guys, we're going to keep running. We got sales meetings that just literally slam the rest of the week. We're going to keep collecting cash. We're going to keep scaling these systems. And we're going to see you in the next video. See you at the top. In a bit, yeah?